There are hundreds of hotels in that city, and somehow I chose the wrong one. It wasn't part of any plan. My phone had died. It was raining. And it was the only building nearby with a flickering light above the entrance. The hotel didn't even have a proper name anymore, just rusted hooks where old letters once used to hang. For a moment I considered walking away, but exhaustion won. I stepped inside. The lobby smelled like old fabric, metal, and something faintly burnt. It was quiet. Too quiet. No television playing, no footsteps from upstairs, not even street noise leaking through the glass. A woman sat behind the front desk. She didn't look up at me. She simply said, "You finally came." I gave a confused laugh. "I think you mistaken me for someone else." Slowly, she lifted her eyes and looked straight at my face. Her expression didn't change, but something about it made me uncomfortable. "They always say that," she replied. She slid the guest register toward me. My name was already written there. Not in my handwriting. And not with today's date. I stood there staring at it, my stomach turning cold. "I didn't write this," I said. "I know," she answered. She handed me an old-fashioned key. Heavy. Cold. "Room 614. I hesitated. "What about 613? Her eyes flicked up again. "That," she said quietly, "is the reason you're here." The elevator was just as old as everything else. The buttons were faded, some numbers completely worn off. Something strange caught my attention though. There was no button for the 6th floor. It went from 5, straight to 7. When the doors opened, the hallway felt colder than the rest of the building. Only one overhead light was switched on, flickering like it might die any second. I began walking. 610, 611, 612. Then suddenly, there was number 613 in between. But where it should have been, the wallpaper looked different. Newer, cleaner. Almost as if someone had tried to cover something up in a hurry. It didn't look like an empty space. It looked hidden. Inside the room, the air felt heavy, like it had been trapped for too long. I locked the door, dropped my bag on the floor, and sat on the edge of the bed. The silence had weight to it. Then I heard a sound. Breathing. Very close to me. I turned, but no one was there. Trying to calm myself, I lay down and closed my eyes. That's when the phone rang. One sharp ring. Then silence. I picked it up. All I could hear was slow breathing. And then a whisper. "You're in the wrong room." My throat went dry. "Who is this?" The voice answered in the exact same tone, the exact same pitch. "You are." The line went dead. And then the knocking started. Not on the main door, but on the wall next to the bed. 3 slow knocks. Pause. 3 more. It was coming from inside the wall, where room 613 should have been. I pressed my ear against it. That's when I heard it. Someone breathing from the other side of the headboard. Right behind me. I stepped back as my phone vibrated in my hand. When I unlocked it, I saw a photo in my gallery. A photo I never took. It was the same hallway. But it looked burned, cracked, ruined by fire. The wallpaper was peeling off the walls like dead skin. And at the end of it was a door. Room 613. In the reflection of that door's metallic surface, I was standing there. But my eyes, they were burned out. I ran. Down the hallway. Into the elevator. Back to the lobby. This time there was a man behind the desk instead of the woman. Older. Hands shaking slightly as he cleaned his glasses. Before I even spoke, he said, "You saw the photo, didn't you?" My blood froze in my veins. He pulled out a thick, dusty folder and placed it in front of me. Inside were old reports, police records, burnt photographs, newspaper clippings, missing persons, unidentified bodies, unsolved deaths, all connected to this hotel, all connected to one room. And the worst part, every face in those photographs was mine. Same eyes, same face, different clothes, different years. "What is this?" I whispered. He didn't look surprised. "They're not they," he said slowly. "They're you." I shook my head. "No, that's impossible. You died here once," he continued. "In a fire. Room 613. Back in 2009. The door was locked from the inside. Your body was pulled out, but something never left this building." I felt the room spinning. "Some people don't disappear," he said. "They echo. And this hotel, it remembers." He opened one final sheet of paper. A brand new record. Printed today. My name. Time of arrival, tonight. Room 613. Cause of death, pending. The lights went out. In the darkness I heard them. Dozens of whispers, all around me. All with my voice. "We've been waiting." It's your turn now. You have to stay. When the lights came back on, the lobby was gone. I was standing in the 7th floor hallway again, in front of a door that definitely hadn't existed before. Fresh paint, clean wood, a new brass number screwed into it. Behind me, I heard the elevator ding. A man stepped out, dragging a suitcase. He looked tired, wet from the rain. He walked past me without noticing. I reached out, but my hand went right through him. He approached the desk at the end of the hall. The woman smiled at him. "Welcome. Your room is 614. As he walked away, he paused and looked at the wall, right where I stood, where the door to 613 had already started to fade. He frowned and muttered, "That's strange, isn't there a room missing?" And I finally understood. Room 613 was never haunted. It was a waiting room, and the ghost was never a stranger. It was always me, waiting for someone else to take my place. Room 613 is always occupied. Hit the like button, subscribe to stay one night in room 613.